So something a little different today, we're going to take a look at the KATool KT T810 tire changer here and the KATool KT B760 tire balancer. Both of these together shipped in a bundle package for $2,100 on Amazon. Both came on one pallet here, and the pallet is built pretty good. I'm going to start with the tire changer here, and you can see it is wrapped here in plastic. So this is the A10, which is the bead blaster model. Comes with the hose for that nozzle. Of course, we have a soap container and soap brush, or whatever stuff you want to use there to help make things a little bit easier. Stopper there for the swing arm, plastic covers to go over the jaws for aluminum rims, and a couple little extra wear pieces here for the install, and of course tire removal duct. So a little quick read of the book. Looks like it's pretty straightforward. We've got to go ahead and get this heavy swing arm on, and we also have the bump stop to go on the side there for when you're breaking the bead, of course, on the tire. Now keep in mind this whole unit is roughly 500 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and get this arm off here. We're going to try to get the rest of it off the pallet, and then we'll put the arm on the machine. All right, so I went ahead and threw some little wheels on here. Yeah, it's definitely not designed for this, but for me, I want to easily move it around. So we'll go ahead and pull this cover off where it has 6 of these Allens. For now, we can go ahead and set the inflator hose for the tire with the gauge aside, along with pulling this air regulator out of the inside here. So when it comes to putting the tower on, we're going to see if we can cheat here and just rock it up without using the crane. We'll go ahead and plug this in the bottom because this does have the bead blaster, which stores the air inside this tower. We'll screw that arm stop screw in, put the tire inflator gauge on the side. So go ahead and install this bead blaster. On the machine side, we have a face seal. The seal itself comes taped on the actual hose. Wrench size is 1.5. So on the opposite end, this almost actually looks like a face seal, but we didn't get another seal and we can't valve. So we'll go ahead and put a little pipe tape on here. All right, so it's ready to rock here. Got some tires I do need to get off the rim here. Of course, the dump will not accept tires on rims, so that's part of the reason I have this tire changer. Plenty more to do like this. But before we do that, I want to point a couple things out here, especially when you're looking at different tire changers. One, this has aluminum pedals, and we do have a pedal for tire inflation. I'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But the main thing you got to keep in mind is actually this table and its capacity. So all the way shut, you're looking at roughly just over 10.25. And then if you grab the inside of the rim, you can see we're looking at roughly 11.5. Now if we go all the way out, this is where things will vary when you're looking at these different cheap tire changers. So inside claw, the inside claw is 23 inches. And then outside, you're looking at 2.5. Another thing to keep in mind here is from the center of the table to the post. And we're looking at just under 20.5. Now, being that that's a steel rim, we're going to run these in. All right, so pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead and break the bead. Throw it up here on the table, steel rim. We're going to clamp on the inside. Go ahead and bring this down. Ideally, you want a 2mm gap here. And to maintain that, you got to turn the stop in. So we'll take the tool, put it over the edge there, put a little soap here, and then just run it around. Lift this up. Grab it on the underneath. Go ahead and do the same. So here's the 15. now I'll show you how to go back on. It might be a little bit tough here with this tire. Typically you're going to be wanting to use a soap or something, give a little lubricant here. Now we want to keep this tire under the duck head, but over the tail. And then we're going to keep force here on the edges. We do not want our fingers near the inside. So we'll put force on the edges. There's the inner bead. Same deal with the outer. So now when we get close to putting tension on, we want to keep this down in the center of the rim, not up on the ridge of the rim. So we're going to keep force down. Again, fingers away. And there you have it. Now inflation, we'll see if this actually bounces up. I doubt it. We'll hit our foot pedal. Yeah, nope. All right, so there we go. It's on the rim. So I got it unpacked. Again, I added some cheap little wheels that I had laying around. So it comes with a shaft extension, a couple hub pieces there, the lock, an Allen key to attach this one wheel weight, which I'm guessing is for calibrating, wheel weight tool, and a wheel measuring device, along with the display, and of course the top there with the keypad. So it looks pretty straightforward. We need to take this monitor mount off, put it on the back side there. You're going to need a 6mm Allen. So I installed the wiring. Of course, you run it down through the slot, into the back there. Pretty straightforward. They only go in certain spots and they only go a certain way until you get to the actual keypad. When we look at the back of the keypad, you'll notice we just have a single strip there. But it is marked with black pen on one side, and so is the cable. So I guess we're going to try to match that side up and hope that's correct. All right, so before we do anything here, we're going to go ahead and calibrate it. Instructions seem to be pretty good for this. One thing that's interesting though, I want you to have a 15-inch steel rim that's already balanced. So go ahead and we'll hold the F and the C to get in calibration mode. It says cal, and then we need to hit the start. So 100 on the inside. So we'll spin the tire around. So right there. So we should be able to install this right here. Install that there at the 12 o'clock position. So we'll go ahead and hit start again. All right, so now we'll go ahead and move it off this side. So then we'll take that same calibration weight and put it on the outside now. All right, we'll go ahead and hit start again. And there you have it. It's calibrated. All right, so we'll go ahead and do balancing. Across the top, of course, you have the setup for steel rims and then aluminum rims. So I'll show you aluminum here quick. So we'll do ALU3. So with ALU3 selected, we're going to go ahead and do our measurements. So we're going to do A. With this one, we can pull the arm out. Go out again for the center. So that gives us where we're going to put those weights on the edge of the rim and of course there in the center portion. Next we got to do B. So that's going to be the rim. There we had 7. So we'll click B and bring that up to 7. Now we have to do D. And this is a 15-inch rim. So we'll click D. We'll give the tire a spin and hit start. Spin around till all the lights light up. And on the inner portion here, it wants us to put 1 ounce. Now this is where this machine is a little bit different than most of the cheaper ones on the market, If we spin it around for the outer position, and here you can see we have a laser that points us where we need to put the stickies on the outside there portion of the rim. But of course we don't have an aluminum rim, so we'll go back to steel. Make sure our settings are correct. So we'll do that inner measurement. We'll do B, which is 7, and then D, which is our rim, 15. Push it, hit start. So we need 0.5 on the inner position, and then 1 on the outer. Give her a spin, hit start again. And we have 0, 0, so we're balanced. So overall, I think this was a good choice. Again, I was focused on capacity of the actual tire changer, and I think it's worth the extra money for the bead blaster. Now, I probably should have went with the assist arm to make this a little more future-proof down the road for low-profile tires. But again, I don't think you can beat the price with the capacity, and the build quality seems pretty good with the aluminum pedals. On the flip side, when we talk about balancers, for the cheaper ones on the market, I think this one, again, is the best bang for the buck, with the ruler capturing that measurement. And again, having the lights down here and the laser to show you where to put the stick-on weights when you're doing aluminum rims. So yeah, I'm not a professional at this. So yeah, this is my first go with changing tires, but I think this bundle here is the best value for the money. So we'll get back to the normal tool testing next week. Let us know in the comments if you have any of these and of course how they've worked for you. The link will be below, like normal. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.